Hello, and welcome to another edition of the Commonwealth series. My name is David Howard, and I am happy to be representing the TJ Alumni Action Group. And I am happy today to introduce representatives from Virginia Union University based in Richmond, Virginia. The first representative we'll have today is Victoria Nichols. Victoria N. Nichols, born in the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., grew up in PG County, Maryland, and Spotsylvania, Virginia, respectively. She has spent the past 22 years influencing the lives of secondary, post-secondary, and non-traditional students and currently serves as Director of Undergraduate Admissions at Virginia Union University. Her passion in higher education is supported by a master's degree in educational management from Strayer University and a Bachelor of Science degree in hospitality management from Virginia State University. Her professional and community-based affiliations extend to the National Association of College Admissions Counselors, Virginia Association of Collegiate Registrars and Admission Officers, the American Association of Collegiate Registrars and Admissions Officers, the National Association of College Deans, Registrars and Admissions Officers, the Masonic Order of the Eastern Star, and Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Please welcome Victoria Nichols.
Thank you. As stated, I am Victoria Nichols, and I currently serve as the Undergraduate Admissions Director at Virginia Union University, and I'm excited about this opportunity to bid you greetings from VUU, home of Panther Nation. And so as we venture into the journey of Panther Nation, we have lots to share to offer students opportunities to really get to know who we are and what we're interested in as we look for potential students to attend and matriculate on the campus of Virginia Union University.
Thank you, Victoria. And with that, we will have a short video to kind of give everyone a view of what it's like to be a student at Virginia Union University.
For some people, university is just another series of classrooms. For others, it's about finding purpose and value as you define what will be your life's work. But when you step foot here, in this place, that's when you find your life's work colliding with legacy to produce an educational experience reaching deeper than you ever thought possible. It's more than books, more than classrooms, more than papers or exams. Virginia Union University is a place where you discover the power of a limitless future.
I'm so grateful for the opportunity that you were able to witness a small piece of what Virginia Union University has to offer as we offer many students the promise of a limitless future. Next, I would love to introduce, this is a young lady who is not only an alum of Virginia Union University, but is an advocate for Virginia Union University, but also one who is stellar in nature. She provides great insight into what the university has to offer. She gives great intuition into what it takes as a student, as she has once walked in that particular path. And so without further ado, I want to introduce to you a colleague of mine. I also oftentimes call her my lifesaver. The shining star, Miss Faith Barbour, who is currently serving in the capacity as an academic advisor within our university college. I also mentioned that she is one of our prestigious alum, and she also serves as the director for the Virginia College of African American Women, which is a mentorship program, in which you probably will speak a little bit more to that as we continue. But without further ado, I'd like to present to you Ms. Faith Barbour.
Alrighty, hello everyone. Thank you, Ms. Nichols, for that introduction. As she stated, I am Faith Barbour. I currently serve as the director of the Virginia College of African American Women here at Virginia Union University, and I also have the opportunity of serving as an academic coordinator. And so I want to share briefly a presentation about VUU, and then shortly we will have our VUU tour to give you a kind of holistic view about Virginia Union. And actually, What's up, family? My name is Faith Barbour. I have the pleasure of serving as the director of VCAL, the Virginia College of African American Women here at Virginia Union University. And I want to welcome you to our illustrious campus. I am an alumna here. I graduated in May of 2015, and I have the pleasure of conducting your virtual tour today. So I want you to tune in and come with me on a journey as we experience our beautiful campus. The historical Virginia Union University was founded in 1865. We have approximately 1,500 students on our campus. Our student-to-teacher ratio is 16:1, so we're known for our family environment. And we're going to start our tour today by talking about our Henderson Center that is located right behind me. Henderson Center is named after our 6th president of the university, and here we have our student union, so students can come after classes to just kind of hang out. They also have a game room inside of here. Our VP of Student Development, also our Workforce Development Office is in here, so students have the opportunity to gain an internship in or off campus. Also, we have career fairs that we host each and every semester for students to find employment, whether that's with an internship or to land a job opportunity upon graduation. And so this is the Henderson Center. Right here we have Hartshorn Hall, formerly known as Hartshorn Memorial College. Hartshorn Memorial College was a college in 1932 for African American women to receive their education, and now it is a residence hall facility for both men and women. Behind it we have Newman Hall. Newman Hall is also one of our residence hall facilities, and it is co-ed. Behind me we have our athletic department. We play in the CIAA and we're Division II. Also, our athletic department, our coaches, they have their offices within these buildings. Our gymnasium is also connected to the building, and this is where our basketball team play for their spring and fall games. Also, we have our Belgian Tower. Our Belgian Tower we acquired from a New York World State Fair. We were able to transport it over brick by brick, and now it is assembled, so now you're able to see it across the highway as you drive past. And we have an illumination light, so at night you can see our illustrious logo as you drive past. Also in here we have our Belgian theater. So our theater majors, if you are a theater or art major, you can do your classes in here. Next we will go to our VUU monument. Follow me. Here we have our Virginia Union University monument that was constructed back in 2015. This monument is a depiction of our history and legacy over the years. Right here we have another extension of our VUU monument that has our crest engraved inside of here. Also, we have some past presidents that are listed on the side, some honorary trustee members, and also some past presidents again. And on the back side of this, we have engraved some Board of Trustee members that are a part of the illustrious Virginia Union University. Right here we have Coburn Hall. Coburn Hall is named after our 7th president, Dr. Alex B. James. We host chapel every Thursdays at 11 a.m. We are a Baptist affiliated institution, so the different student organizations will host, they will have a speaker to come in, or the university pastor will come and minister to our students to give them a faith-filled word on that day. Also right here we have Ellison Hall. Ellison Hall is where all of our general ed classes are normally held. So the School of Arts and Sciences, this is where you will find your major. You would take your major classes, normally your freshman year and sophomore year, they are held here. Also, we have our financial aid department located in this building, the registrar's office, student accounts, and IT. And just as a fun fact, we have a greenhouse at the top of the building. So this is Coburn and also Ellison Hall. Right here we have our Baptist Memorial Building. Baptist Memorial is where all of our college presidents used to live. Now it is renovated for office spaces as well as our TRIO department. TRIO is a federally funded program for first-generation college students to give them access and create a network for them of support throughout their four-year journey. Right here we have Pickford Hall. Pickford Hall also houses the Sidney Lewis School of Business. So in the School of Business, we have marketing, finance and banking, business information technology, and entrepreneur management, and many more majors to come. In the basement, we have our campus police department. On the second floor, we have our 13th president, Dr. Hakeem Lucas, and his cabinet, and also the provost. And on the third and fourth floor, we have classrooms and office spaces. Okay guys, here we have our L. Douglas Wilder Library. Attached to the library is our bookstore, so the students can come and purchase books at any time. Also, we have our campus store, so any snack needs that they may have. Also, we have where they can purchase paraphernalia, so any shirts, sweatshirts, hats, anything of that sort, they can come and get those needs handled. And so I want you to come in and take a journey with me as I explore a little bit more inside of the library. Okay guys, so right now we are in one of our reference reading rooms. This has a lot of history of the university. Again, we were founded in 1865, and so each panel shares a little description about the history from the start to the present moment now. And so first starting at the first president down to the 12th president of the university. Of course, we are at the 13th president, Dr. Hakeem Lucas, but upon his tenure and once he is completed during his time, then he will have a panel. Right here we have our art gallery. The art gallery, we host pieces of art from East Africa and West Africa. Also, we have some Thornton Dow paintings that we carry here, as well as some other artists here at the university. So this is one of our fun facts about the university, is that we have our own art gallery. And so we have different hours of operation for the students to come and visit the gallery, as well as different outside guests. Alright guys, so here we are in the atrium of the L. Douglas Wilder Library. We have computer labs that are featured on both floors for students to access the computers. Also, we have librarians on staff to help or assist with any research projects or any study needs that the students may have. Also in here we have our University College department. The University College is dedicated to helping advise first-time freshmen and sophomore students, and also being a circle of support for the students through their four-year experience. So join me as we go and view some other buildings here on the campus. Alrighty guys, so fun fact, this is our historic bell. The bell was used as an indicator back in the day of when classes were changing. Now it is used for fraternities and sororities to ring the bell according to their founders at midnight, and this is to celebrate their Founders Day. Behind me is the world-renowned Samuel DeWitt Proctor School of Theology, known as Kingsley Hall. Here at the Samuel DeWitt Proctor School of Theology, they offer different programs for students to interact in different forms of ministry, and they are on a master's and doctoral level, as well as a range of different certificate programs. All right, so right here is Storer Hall. This is a male residence hall facility, and beside it is the Evelyn Reed Fairfax School of Education and Interdisciplinary Studies. Here we offer different programs for education majors, as well as we offer a weekend college program for teachers who are trying to get their licensure. Some other residence halls that we did not get to mention is McVicker Hall, which is right behind me. McVicker is the largest residence hall facility on the campus, in addition to White Hall. White Hall is used as an honors facility, and also some of our athletic students are housed in there. Here is the Claude G. Perkins Living and Learning Center. In the main atrium, we have our main event space where we have from pageants all the way to our breakfasts and different array of events that are hosted in that area. On each side of the buildings, we have 120 residence hall facilities, and they are all co-ed. Alrighty, you all, so that brings us to the end of our virtual campus tour. If you have any questions or concerns, you can feel free to reach out to the Office of Admissions at www.vuu.edu, or also you can give them a call at 804-342-3570. I hope you all had a wonderful time, and I look forward to seeing you at the illustrious Virginia Union University. We just had our presentation of our VUU tour. So now I have the privilege of doing a little presentation a little bit more in depth about Virginia Union and what we offer. And so let me share with you on my screen. So just kind of to briefly go over Virginia Union's history a little bit again. We were founded in 1865. So we were the first historically Black college in the Commonwealth of Virginia. And so as a result, we had 4 institutions that merged from us. That was the Richmond Theological, we had Wayland Seminary, and we had Hartshorne Memorial College and Storer College. I just want to highlight Hartshorne Memorial College. So that was an opportunity for African-American women to receive their education. So we were the first, Hartshorne was the first school to confer degrees for women in Virginia. So that was a major historic fact for VUU. Also, we've known for our state-of-the-art art facilities, as well as performing arts, and we have a stellar athletic program. And so I also wanted to, give me one moment. So this is the vision of Virginia Union University. So we are a premier liberal arts urban institution of higher education and center of excellence for the preparation of students and development of leaders for tomorrow's world. And so literally we stand in this, we are engulfed in this mission and vision. This is what we kind of present every single day to our students, because we believe by you hearing it, that's what we talk out and we represent each and every day. And so just to highlight our mission, number one, we want to nurture, intellectually challenge, and spiritually enrich have an enriching environment for our students. Number two, we want to empower our students to develop strong moral values for success. And number three, we want to develop scholars, leaders, lifelong learners of a global society to accomplish the mission of Virginia Union. So we have a broad range of educational opportunities that starts, from liberal arts to teaching, research, science, technology, continuing education. And we are big on continuing education at Virginia Union. We actually have a lot of different opportunities with the School of Education. So we have a dynamic program where we have a teacher licensure program where teachers can come and get certified. And this is, we actually are like a central hub for teachers to come and get certified and receive their licensure. So continuing education is huge, even for our master's levels, and continuing on after that with doctoral programs that we have available. Civic engagement is huge, and also international experiences. So these are some of our core values. We call it inside VUU. So starting with innovation, we are providing some of the state-of-the-art facilities. We are upgrading a lot of our labs, research labs, to become more innovative and dynamic and competitive across the board. Also with spiritual formation, we are a Baptist affiliated institution. And so spiritual values is key for us. We want to make sure we have chapel for our students. So we have, as we shared in the VUU tour, we have a speaker that comes on Thursdays to speak to our students and provide a faith-filled word. So spiritual values is key for us. Integrity, operating in integrity. And then we want to make sure that we have diversity and inclusion. So we make sure that we include everyone, whether your race, gender, background. We want to make sure that you feel at home here at VUU. And so we'll share a little bit more later on about our Latin population and how we're targeting that. But we want to make sure we have a diverse community. Also, excellence. So we operate in the spirit of excellence here at VUU. Everything we do, we make sure that we carry it out in excellence. And so that is just having a higher value of integrity and walking in confidence and knowing who we are, and we impart that into our students. So this is a little bit about our tuition and fees. So just to highlight, we are a private institution. And so our tuition and fees are as follows on the screen, an estimated $24,598. So this is the highest price point for a single occupant residence hall. And so this kind of covers our comprehensive fees. This is all inclusive. And so students they have the opportunity to apply for financial aid. We have various scholarship opportunities that are available for our students to apply for, and endowed scholarships. And so students can, apply for their FAFSA, and then our financial aid department is great. We're following up, letting them know their complete aid package. And also we have gave out a lot of tuition reimbursement recently. So a lot of our continuing students, we were able to pay off balances. And so this is kind of the current, just to kind of give you an overview, this is what our tuition and fees include. And you can go on the VUU website if you want a more detailed breakdown. So just a little bit of statistics, some stats about VUU. We are approximately about 1,500 students we have. We have our student to faculty ratio is 16:1. So we hone in on that small, intimate classroom size. So we like a personable experience. You're not just a number here at VUU. We want to make sure that we do care. So we share that a lot. And so we'll talk about that a little bit more in detail. We have over 20 plus academic majors. And so as we stated before, we are located right in the heart of downtown Richmond, Virginia. So we are in the capital of Virginia. So we are right, not too far down from VCU. We are the two schools the universities that are located right downtown. Also, we have a lot of networking opportunities with workforce development. So we have a wonderful, outstanding workforce development office that includes, we have an internship coordinator, a mentorship coordinator, and also the director of the workforce development, and their team is tasked each and every week. They deliver all kinds of workforce opportunities for our students, making sure that they get gainful employment. And so we provide a number of opportunities and workshops for them to get groomed professionally for a life after college. And again, 1,500, our student population is about 1,500 students, and we have a lot of rich history. And so I would share, I'm an alumna of EUU, and so that is kind of primarily why when I came on a tour, I saw how much rich history that we had. We were known as Lumpkin's Jail, so it was an opportunity for freed African-American slaves to receive their education in 1865. And so just knowing the background and the history of UU, it kind of drew me in. And so that is kind of what we are about, making sure that our students have a cultural experience. These are the academic colleges, and they are as follows. We have the Sidney Lewis School of Business, that is my former school. The Evelyn Reed Fairfax School of Education. We have the School of Arts and Sciences. We have the Universidad Virginia Union. We had the prestigious Samuel DeWitt Proctor School of Theology. We have the School of Global and Continuing Education. So all of these are dynamic colleges and schools that represent VUU, but we all of them have equal value in making sure that we build and train our students to be the best of the best and best in class. A little bit about the admissions requirements. Our requirements is a minimum of a 2.0 GPA. We do have rolling admissions. Test scores, they are optional. However, we do accept SAT and or ACT. So students are able to submit that to the admissions department. Also, we have the automatic acceptance into graduate school programs. And so students, they can apply on our website at vuu.edu. The application is free. So they are able to go on there and submit their application and will be able to receive a response after they submit their application with their transcript. And so that is a little bit about our admissions requirements. Also, we're going to talk about Panther Pride. So I am an alumna of our prestigious university, and one thing we do have is Panther Pride. All of our alumni, when you come back from, of course, all of different HBCUs and different schools, homecoming is a big thing, but we make sure that our alumni, they carry the Panther Pride and our legacy everywhere we go. So you can see Virginia Union. I always say, recently I was walking down the street and I saw somebody with a Virginia Union t-shirt, and you see it all over Richmond. And so we are the 3-time NCAA Division II champions. And so also too, we have over 50 plus student organizations, and we have Greek life. So all of the Divine Nine are represented here on our campus. And I will allow one of our student representatives to discuss that a little bit more about the student perspective. And then also VCAM and VCAL. So this is an opportunity for, this is the Virginia College of African American Women and Men. And I have the privilege of being the director of the women's portion. And it's just basically their gender specific communities dedicated to enhancing the academic, professional development, social growth of the union man and the union woman. So we want to identify what is that? What is a union man? What is a union woman? We want to make sure that they stand out amongst the crowd. And so they're, again, just not a number here at VUU. We want to groom them into being the best of the best. And also mentorship opportunities. So we have within VCAL and VCAM, there's opportunities for students to have a peer mentor. And then also within our workforce development office, we have a mentorship coordinator who we partner with the Richmond City Schools to make sure that our students they have mentoring, they have mentees that they mentor with different local elementary schools. And so we have various opportunities that students can participate in. And here is a little bit more information about admissions. So if you are a prospective student and you are interested in coming to Virginia Union, as I stated before, you can visit us at www.vuu.edu and apply. It's a free application. Go ahead and just apply with us. Our financial aid deadline is March 31st. And so just make sure that you submit all of your FAFSA information by that time for the fall, and then also automatic financial support to all incoming students. So we want to make sure that you have some type of financial support, no matter who you are. As long as you're incoming students, we will make sure that our offices are dedicated to helping you. And here is the admissions contact information represented on the screen. And you can contact us at any time. And I believe our office hours are between 8:30 and 4:30. So and make sure that you take down this contact information, and we will be making sure that we engage with you. And so that concludes my presentation. I have the privilege of introducing our SGA president. He is actually a graduating senior. So I am going to read his bio really briefly so that you all can get a student perspective, and he's going to share a little bit more about himself. But Bobby Newell Jr. is a graduating senior and a criminal justice major from the Worldsboro, Queens, New York. He is a 23-year-old son of Velma Johnson and Bobby Newell Sr. Bobby currently serves as the 86th Student Government Association president at Virginia Union and serves as the second vice president for the Virginia Association of Chapters of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. And Bobby has a community involvement that includes being a volunteer at the New York State Senator's Office of Leroy Comrie and being a youth pastor at Mount Horeb Baptist Church. Bobby's hobbies, include reading and working out. His favorite quote is Matthew 19:26. It says, "With a man, this is impossible, but with God, all things are possible." So without further ado, I would like to present one of our dynamic student leaders, Mr. Bobby Newell.
Thank you, Ms. Balboa, once again for introducing me. My name is Bobby Newell Jr., and I serve as the 86th Student Government Association president, and I'm a graduating senior. As my 4 years here has come to an end, I always get asked, why did I come to Virginia Union? Why did I leave New York City to come down to Virginia? And the truth is, I've always been a Southern boy at heart, right? But when I came to Virginia Union, I felt as a family. I come from a big family, and my mom and my dad, they wanted to make sure I'll be around people who would treat me like their own, like a son. And so that was Virginia Union. We came down my senior year in high school in 2017. And it was a phenomenal experience. They showed me the campus culture, and the history of Richmond was just so dynamic. And if you know Virginia Union, coming from Lumpkin slave jail to where the prestigious university is now, you just want to be a part of that, because it's going to continue being innovative and continue growing in the city of Richmond, and it's going to continue impacting tomorrow's leaders. I've been a student leader all 4 years, and Virginia Union has impacted me in so many ways. Each year I found a new obstacle I had to overcome in leadership, but it has helped me prepare for where I am today and where I'm going. My overall college experience at Virginia Union has been amazing, except COVID. But other than that, it's been amazing. I have met some great friends who become family members, teachers who I've looked at as father figures, an uncle, and things of that nature. It's truly a family. And hopefully, if you choose to come to Virginia Union, you will experience the same culture and atmosphere that I was granted to as well. The challenges I've experienced in college, there's a few, but I would say COVID. That's been my biggest challenge, of finding a way to persevere and basically weather this storm, and making sure that I graduate May 8th, 2021. And by that, I just had to remain focused and making sure that I have a good rapport with my teachers, communicate with them as well, because it was hard for both parties, for students and teachers, to get accustomed to this new virtual learning that we're doing. So having the constant communication with them has been a challenge, but I'm overcoming it, because now I graduate in 2 weeks, and 14 days, really, I graduate across the stage. Um, my future plans after graduation, well, I'm returning back to Virginia Union. And let me tell you this, when you do the work that you when you do the work and you're invested into the system will invest back into you. And I'm proud to say that in the fall, I will be returning back to Virginia Union University to pursue both my master's and my doctorate in ministry at the Samuel DeWitt Proctor School of Theology, on a full ride. So thank you, Dr. Lucas, as well. And that just goes to show you, future Panthers, that when you do the work, it'll be reinvested into you. You have to pour what was invested into you. So you pour into your university. You try to make sure that your university has everything that they need to help the students go where they need to go in life, and the university will pay it back to you. So continue, when you come to this campus, do the work, get involved in student leadership, make sure that all your needs and wants are met, and make sure that you also enjoy your college experience, because college days swiftly pass. It seems like just yesterday I was a freshman with water behind my ears from New York City, and now I have a little beard and I'm graduating to the real world. So I love Virginia Union, and I hope one day you will love Virginia Union as well. We have a lot of programs. I myself am part of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, the best fraternity in the world. We have all D9. We have athletics. We have Student Government Association, which I'm the president of. We have Royal Court. We have an amazing band. We also have campus ministries as well. You have VCAM and VCall. You have some of your majors have organizations as well. So get a part of that as well. Some of our dormitories have organizations, a little brotherhood, sisterhood as well. So get involved and be the change that you want to see, not only in the university, but also in the world. So definitely get involved. And the last one is, how has COVID impacted my studies? I just had to tap into another level, honestly. I think Virginia Union has truly prepared me for the real world, or whatever life has thrown at us. And you're gonna go through your ups and downs as a family as well, right? But being cemented and having a solid foundation with, good rapport with your teachers and some of your friends to help you get through everything. So thank you for allowing me to be here and talk to you guys briefly. And once again, my name is Bobby Newell Jr. Thank you, and have a great day.
Hi, everybody. I'm Sujatha Hampton. I am the education chair and the third vice president of the Fairfax County NAACP. And I get the great honor of asking everybody questions, which is just so wonderful. You made me tear up, Bobby. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Honestly, today I'm so emotional. And then you come and tell me good news like that. I'm so proud of you, and I'm so glad you're going to be graduating and doing these great things. So I am going to ask questions, and all of you swear, seriously, I'm actually emotional. Anybody who has something to say, you can feel free to jump in, okay? First question, is there an ideal student that would be a prime candidate to attend Virginia Union?
So Bobby, I saw that you unmuted. So, I'm going to yield. I always yield to our future alum. And I think I forgot to mention that I'm an advocate for HBCUs. So again, I think it's really important for the individuals such as Bobby who have walked the journey as a VUU student, the best in class, that they can address this question as well. But ideal student, I think that's a question oftentimes that many institutions, they get that question, right? And so for me, I will say that we look for the unique student. Okay, if it's fair to say that, that's the student who may be a 4.0 scholar or may not, maybe a student that may have faced various challenges as they were attending maybe their high school, or maybe a student who had the opportunity to obtain a GED. We look for students who are interested, as Bobby stated, wanting to become the change that they want to see. So those are the type of students that we really identify with. I also want to speak to the point that in recruiting those particular students, but we also have something that we do a little different called the invitation-based application. So whereas many institutions require students to complete applications, we also have a component which is called the invitation. And so if we meet students and we engage and build those particular relationships, if there is an opportunity that we see would fit our profile at Virginia Union, then we're eager to have that student come aboard, because again, our goal is to meet students where they are and then to transform them into greatness. As Ms. Barbour mentioned earlier, where we consider ourselves to be best in class, and that cannot happen without our students. So again, Bobby, I did see you unmute. Ms. Barbour, I'm pretty sure you have a response for that question as well.
Ms. Barbour, you could go first. You could go first.
Well, I will piggyback just off of Ms. Nichols. So I think we hone in on the transformation process of the student. So it's not just, again, like she said, the 4.0 student we welcome, but that student, I have several students who I encounter who had not had the opportunities that they've been afforded throughout their community. And when they get to Virginia Union, it's a time for us to invest in them. And so we start pouring into them, and they start, it's amazing to see, just like a butterfly, they start to evolve over this time period. And once they get to their senior year, it's like, wow, the transformation in the process, this is what we invested in you. And then the outcome, it's just amazing. So I think we really hone in on, again, like she said, the unique student. And so it doesn't mean that you have to be perfect, but you are just enough for VUU. So we welcome everyone.
And I would definitely, I have to agree that Union, some will say that Union is a home of a second chance for some students, which it is. Some students come with barely getting out of high school, and they transform over their next 4 years at the top of their class. That's one of my close friends, and one of my line brothers is in the prime example of that. Union wants people who see themselves and wants better for themselves. And it's a family, so your family is going to pour into you and make sure that you get everything that you need, your resources, and make sure that you graduate on time. You're here to earn a degree, and so we're going to make sure that you get your degree no matter what. So there really isn't no ideal student. It's just what you need to survive. If you have the will within, then we want you. If you want to help our campus grow and everything, and if you're willing to grow as well, we want you here.
That's so beautiful. I wonder whether, I'm just hearing, it's a school that you have a religious orientation. Sounds like there's some ministry that goes on in the choosing, in the guiding, in the molding of a person. That's really very nice. Thank you. As an institution nestled between two other HBCUs in the state of Virginia, what steps does Virginia Union take to establish and demonstrate itself as a school of equal footing?
That's a great question. I'm going to jump in there, and then I'll pass the mic to whomever wants to kind of piggyback off of that. So, of course, we always we're the identifier as a historically Black college and university, and so that's understood. So not only do we think about the institutions that are in our surrounding areas, but we also think about the total of the holistic, the 105 HBCUs that exist. And so although we originated to serve the purpose of educating those who were not afforded opportunities, as an institution that we are best in class. That's part of who we are. We kind of feel like we set our own standard in terms of, yes, there are, it's a criteria that we look at in terms of seeking those potential students, but because we set the standard of not necessarily, I don't want to say, I want to kind of speak to what the point that Ms. Barbour stated as far as welcoming all, but many institutions are going to be recruiting students who are scholars, who are the cream of the crop, who have really worked hard. And we applaud those students who really worked hard in high school and a community college setting and beyond. But I think that what sets us apart from other institutions is that we take a deeper look into the student. We may be faced with students who don't know their way. They haven't really been provided the direction. But one thing that that sets us apart is that we believe that education is the opportunity for whomever so desires it. And so that's not something that many institutions are doing. And so we really kind of bring that to the forefront of who we are as an institution. Education is something that should be afforded to anyone. And so with that in mind, whenever we are meeting with students, whenever we are taking the time to figure out who's going to be in our next incoming class, that's something that we take strong consideration, and we're spirit-led in everything that we do. So that's our driving factor as well. And so I kind of want to lead with that because that's something that sets us apart. Whereas we may be at a college fair and you may have students that are getting acceptances all over the place. They may be getting scholarship opportunities all over the place. Well, we do that too, but we take a deeper look into the type of student that we want at Virginia Union, the student that we know that we can truly invest in, plant that seed and grow that student to greater. And it is something else that we do. Even though we're meeting students where they are, when they come into Virginia Union, our goal is to make sure that when our students graduate, they have a 3.0 or higher when they graduate, because again, that helps to make them more marketable, and making them more marketable sets the standard for us.
And now we'll just to piggyback off of that, knowing from the academic side, I'm one of the academic coordinators in the University College. And so one thing that our president, Dr. Hakeem Lucas, has instilled is this framework of the Noble 9 achievements. And so what this is strategies that we have developed, all of our administration, is basically it sets up a scholarship, number one, making sure that all students are afforded different scholarships for future, making sure that they have different opportunities as far as different resources for their future, wisdom, culture, wealth, access, experience, purpose, and focus. So a lot of these, so every non-noble that I mentioned, they all have a unique and specific purpose. So I won't go into depth about what they are, but as Ms. Nichols stated, one of those is with the 3.0 GPA, also making sure that they are having a career opportunity among, postgraduate opportunities once they graduate. And so we want to make sure we have these leadership programs called the Noble 9 leadership seminar series, where students can participate in our curriculum that we form, and they are invested in these different classes each and every week. And so we make sure that they are set up for success. And so this Noble 9 leadership seminar series is actually for the 4 years that they're here. So starting their freshman year all the way to their senior year. And we've just built out this initiative recently. We launched it in the fall. And so I just wanted to add that on as well.
You're saying that those are new?
Yes. So
this is a new initiative.
Yes, in the fall.
And so those Noble 9 achievements, you have sort of seminars so that you can work on these specifically for students from the time they walk in, and it would be continuing till the time they leave. That is really, really great. That's really interesting. That's really a great addition to your curricular offerings. I like it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so that it takes place in our University College department. So University College is responsible for academic advising for first-time freshmen. So right when they enter in the door, we want to make sure that they are captivated and we start instilling these values. So I'm actually one of the professors in there. And so we host classes each and every week on these fundamentals like priorities, decisions, just fundamentals that they need, initiative, things that they need to know, basics as being a leader. And so it helps them in the long run.
Has the response been good?
Yes, and actually we wrapped up our last class on today because we're going into finals. And so today they were very, I was like, I need you all to give me feedback. Like, how was the class overall? Do you like these topics that we're discussing? And they were really, I had great feedback. And so they really love these things, and they like, we know about it, but it's good to hear it and be able to apply it to our lives. And so, yeah.
That's great. That's great. Bobby, did you want to add anything, or should I go on to the next question?
I would just say from my perspective, the history of Virginia Union. Like each school has its own history, right? But I don't know, just being formed from a slave jail to where it is now is just so, it's just very unique in its own way. It just shows you that you could overcome anything, right? It's just the faith that you have and the work that you put in. And I would just say, who comes from Virginia Union? And what has happened in the city of Richmond since 1865, where you had the Richmond 34. But if anyone knows Dr. King, some people may not know, but Dr. Wyatt T. Walker, who was his chief of staff, is not only a frat brother of mine. It comes from Gamma chapter, but he comes from Virginia Union, and we have a whole lot of array of people who were unsung heroes in Richmond and around the world, who helped cultivate society. They was a piece of society. So when you learn history like that, it just makes you want to come, it makes you want to stay and be a part of that history. And so one day you could change the world like they did in your expertise.
That is a very significant something for this university around other universities that have similar mission, but this history is unique. Thank you for bringing that to everybody's minds. They're always thinking about it. That's really good. How does the local Richmond community impact the experience of attending Virginia Union and vice versa? So what does the impact of the university on the city as well?
Well, I will say one of the things that stands out to me with Virginia Union is that it is located in the vibrant heart or city of Richmond, Virginia. And so being in the capital, there are so many networking opportunities for our students. So we have, of course, as Ms. Barbour stated earlier, our mentorship programs, but we also have that career exploration. And so it is not as challenging as it would be for other institutions that may not have the institutions that are located in thriving communities such as Richmond, Virginia. So there's the buy-in. It's the buy-in with being able to network with those organizations and the Fortune 500 companies that are in Richmond, Virginia and the surrounding areas. But so our students benefit from the particular communities, but also the communities benefit from our student population because, again, they're interested in those students who are building upon their endeavors. And so those particular corporations are identifying Virginia Union University students to be a part of their companies, to lead their companies. And so that's something that there's a benefit in both factors within our student population, as well as within the corporations that we network with.
Makes good sense. Ms. Barbour, Mr. Newell, you have anything you want to add? No?
No, Ms. Nichols said everything.
Yeah. She did cover everything.
Excellent. That's good. I mean, that's great that you have this vibrant relationship. That's a lot to offer. What would you say is the most common misconception you hear or experience when people discuss getting an education at Virginia Union?
So I'm just going to jump right in there and be very direct. It's something that I hear all the time. And although I'm not a graduate of Virginia Union University, I am a true advocate for HBCUs because I believe in what it is that HBCUs do in terms of not just educating the student on the academic side, but from a holistic perspective. Let's be honest, when students are getting an education, 80% of what they do is outside of the classroom. And so we're very intentional in how we structure our activities and making sure that they feed the student. Feed the student meaning to educate them academically, but to educate them on who they are. We're meeting students who may not know what they want in life. And so there's a lot of self-identification that happens as we're teaching students who they are. And again, like I stated, it happens in as well as outside of the classroom. And so I kind of want to jump in because many individuals feel like because you're an HBCU that you don't have anything to offer. That is far from the truth. As an HBCU graduate myself, I attended a predominantly white institution. I attended a private institution, a public predominantly white institution and a private predominantly white institution. And I'll be honest, although I was able to receive what I met the objective of the institution, I still felt unfulfilled. And so I will say that attending an HBCU, our students are identifying with not just self-identification, but cultural awareness. We're able to speak to social injustices. We're able to learn how to be young women and young men. We are able to really identify that there are other things that are occurring in the world, but we can speak to all of those entities. And so another factor that comes into mind is that we're challenged in different ways, because we're hungry for that type of education that historically Black colleges and universities offer. But HBCUs, it's that misconception that because you're an HBCU, that you don't have anything to offer. And I invite individuals to just take a class, even if you have obtained a degree from whatever institution you attended. Come take a class at Virginia Union. Understand what it is that we're doing. We invite you to take one of our classes in our Noble 9 leadership course. So that way you can understand how much we have to offer and how marketable our students are. And so that's one of the biggest misconceptions. I get it all the time, that HBCUs are not contributors to society, but it's far from the truth.
And that, yeah, I was going to jump in.
Please jump in.
Okay, so I would like to add from that, and again, speaking as a alumna of EUU, I got a lot that we weren't competitive enough, and this is a part of my mission as well, with making sure that we are molding our students to stand out amongst other institutions. And when I say this, I had an opportunity to be a governor's fellow. So I had a partner, a fellowship with the governor's office here in Virginia. And I was, myself and another HBCU was the only two HBCUs represented. And when I had to go into a boardroom of 35 other highly distinguished PWIs from all across Virginia, and just to be able to stand out amongst them and to be able to present myself. And I knew that I had my university. I had already discussed with, at that time, it was Dr. Perkins, who was our president. And so he was fully supporting me. The university, they had my back when it came to any funding that I needed, as far as they provided stipends and different initiatives just to make sure that I had the support that I needed. But I was able to stand out amongst those institutions and also land different opportunities with networking. And so that's what we want to, again, the Virginia College of African American Women and VCAM, which is the Virginia College of African American Men, this is the union men and the union women that we were talking about. We want to make sure that they stand out amongst the crowd, whether it, if they go anywhere after they said, what school did you go to? And they said, I went to Virginia Union, you know, and they like, oh, okay, tell me more about that. And that's how we, you know, start to network and form connections. And so again, I say that, you know, the common misconception is that we're not as competitive, but we are, and we do stand out.
It's very clear. It's very clear. Thank you for sharing that. Bobby, did you want to add anything? We probably are, you're close to the end of our time here, so I want to make sure that.
Like they said, people think that HBCUs don't contribute nothing to society, but in truth be told, we do. A lot of people come from HBCUs who are household names in different industries. Oprah, Samuel Jackson, Diddy. We all love Diddy. Sean Combs. A lot of people come from HBCUs. They might have not finished, they might have dropped out, but they still got that foundation, at least the first year or 2 years at an HBCU that probably could have helped propel them to where they are now. And of course, myself, I feel like I'm going to change society in a way. So I'm going to put myself in that
I completely see that. You should know, it's very clear. I've never met you before, and I can already tell that. I feel so happy and proud of you. So I'm hoping to follow you one day, saying, you know, I talked to that young man right before he graduated from Virginia Union.
Ms. Hampton, did Mr. Noel, did Bobby share with you what his objectives are going to be once he graduates?
He shared with us that he's going to get a master's and a doctorate in theology or something, I think ministry or something, but I didn't hear what the goal was, the eventual goal. What's the eventual goal?
I just wanted to make sure that he did share that information, and that he shared that we are providing a full academic ride for him in both capacities.
He did. That's why I'm so emotional. Today is such an emotional day for everybody. And he shared that, and I had to go grab a tissue. I was off camera. It's like, oh, this is exactly the kind of thing I needed to hear today. So anyway, thank you. Did we cut you off? Were you not finished? I have a last question for you.
The end goal is just, I want to be a pastor and I want to help people. I'm an activist here in New York City as well. And I just want to help people out. And that's it.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. I have the last question. And I will start, you brought it up, Bobby, so it's for you first, okay? You mentioned in your statement your involvement in the royal court. For those who don't know much about the HBCU culture, can you please share more about what a royal court is and what role they serve on an HBCU campus?
Oh, wow, royal court. So royal court is really, I would say they're the face of the university in an aspect. You know, that's who you truly see when you come to the games or when you're walking around campus. You'll see Mr. and Mrs. or you'll see them, right? They are the face. They're who students want to be, right? When you're Mr. VU, Miss VUU, or whatever, it's like you're top tier, you know? They are everyday students. They just worked hard. They've been campaigning for all 4 years. Some of them been in royal court their entire collegiate career. But it is truly a milestone that you would love to accomplish because that's something that you can truly put on your resume.
So you're saying you work toward it, and in your senior year you're elected to this court? Is that what that is?
It's a voting process. So you vote. It's a campaign. So usually around this time or early April, March, it's campaign season at HBCUs, and that is spring semester is what you love at an HBCU. You see everyone, and it's also a campaign, so everyone is campaigning to be in leadership for the next school year to help take this university or help take the organization to the next level. And on those ballots, you have Mr. and Mrs. VUU and Royal Court. You have SGA, you have PAB and other organizations. And students vote, you campaign. It's really a day of campaigning, and students campaign all day. Some students bring Chick-fil-A, they bring whatever to make sure that, you know, they win, but also make sure that their platforms and voices are heard and how they could cultivate this university or any university, matter of fact.
So it is it's in different organizations, you're campaigning to get to a certain spot where you are a representative of the university?
Yeah, essentially, yes, you can say that. So Royal Court is really the face of the student body. In my opinion, they're the face of the student body, and they help the university wherever they need. And on the SGA side, we're the voice of the student body. We listen to their voices, their concerns, their wants and needs, and make sure that they get everything that they need, that they're well equipped. So yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That was my last question. This has been really wonderful. I'm so glad to have met you all. I'm so happy for you, Bobby. I'm looking forward to your future. It sounds very bright, very promising. I'm really just so proud of you. Keep in touch with us, the Fairfax County NAACP. I want to hear at TJAAG. We want to hear what you're doing. It sounds great. So I don't know who is doing our closing today. David, is that you?
Yes, I'll be doing the closing.
Wonderful.
So first off, I want to thank Ms. Nichols, Ms. Barbour, and Mr. Newell for joining us today and just speaking to us about the wonderful institution that is Virginia Union University. We truly appreciate the time that you've taken today to walk us through the campus virtually, as well as talk to us about all the amazing things the school has to offer. And I also want to thank Ms. Hampton and, of course, the Fairfax chapter of the NAACP for joining and always encouraging us with their participation. And we want to thank you all for joining us today and those who will be watching this session later on in the future. Again, we thank you for your time and we hope that you enjoyed this session of the Commonwealth series. So thank you all and have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, everybody.